Tools needed for this install is a 1/4 inch screwdriver or ratchet, 7mm socket, 10mm socket, 10mm wrench, panel popper, pliers, wire crimper, masking tape, multimeter, and some T-tap connectors. Welcome to Spyder Auto. Today we're making a headlight installation video on a 2007 to 14 GMC Yukon Denali. So let's get started. First step, remove 6 10mm bolts across the top of the grill. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next, moving to the front driver's side wheel well, we're going to remove 3 plastic push pins holding the wheel liner. There's 1, 2, and 3. After that, remove 2 7mm bolts. One right here and one on top. Next step, you're going to remove 2 10mm bolts on the inside, holding the bumper and the bumper bracket to the fender. So go ahead and peel back the wheel liner. And then just carefully pull your bumper down. Be able to pull it forward. Here's your bumper bracket. Next, using your 10mm wrench, you're going to loosen this bottom bolt that's securing the bottom of the headlight. It's a 10mm. Just go ahead and loosen it. Now that we're finished with the driver's side, let's repeat the same process to the passenger side. Next, before we pull the top portion of the bumper forward, we're going to apply masking tape here on the fender where it meets the bumper to prevent any scratches. Now, we're going to pull the bumper forward. Go ahead and grab it by the side of the bumper and carefully pull it forward. Next, we're going to remove 2 10mm bolts securing the top of the headlight. We have one on top and one right here on the side. Next, we're going to grab this part of the headlight. We're going to carefully unseat it from the bracket. Now that our headlight's free, we're going to carefully unseat the headlight. From here, we're going to unplug 2 connectors. This one right here is for the high beam and low beam. Press down on the tab and disconnect. And then this one is for your turn signal and side marker. Do the same, press down on the tab and disconnect. Next, go ahead and bring over your factory headlight. Turn it over to the back. We're going to unplug our turn signal bulb socket. Turn it counterclockwise. Then unplug your side marker bulb socket. Turn it counterclockwise. Set your headlight aside. Next, you're going to bring over your headlight. Turn it over to the back. Now before we install these bulb sockets onto your headlight assembly, make sure the rubber gasket seal is intact on both to prevent any moisture. So go ahead and install it into your headlight. Turn it clockwise to lock it. Do the same to the side marker. Turn it clockwise to lock it. Next, we're going to grab these wires here. These set of wires power the halo. And these set of wires power these LEDs here on the side. Next, you're gonna grab all your negative wires together, and then you're gonna twist all the wires together at the end, and then install a female T-tap connector, and you're gonna do the same to the positive wires. Next, you're gonna install male T-tap connectors to the positive and negative wire that powers the parking light onto your factory harness. All right, now we're ready to plug these wires in. Go ahead and grab your negative and connect it with the negative. And then your positive to the positive. So if you need further instructions on how to T-tap, you can find our T-tapping video link in the description. Go ahead and bring your headlight over. Go ahead and plug in your high beam and low beam. Make sure it's secure. Next, we're gonna plug in the parking, turn signal, and side marker. Make sure the connector is secure. Now we're gonna carefully seat the headlight in place. We're gonna drop this bottom bracket into the slot, and then we're gonna drop this into the bracket. Now from here, we're gonna reinstall our two 10mm bolts, one here and here. After installing your driver's side headlight, let's repeat the same process to the passenger side. Moving back to the driver's side wheel well, we're gonna tighten down the 10mm bolt to the bottom headlight bracket. So using your wrench, go ahead and tighten out that bolt. Next, we're gonna reinstall the bumper bracket. Go ahead and line it up with the holes. After that, go ahead and reinstall your two 10mm bolts. Next, reinstall your 3 plastic push pins, securing the wheel liner. And after that, reinstall your 2 7mm bolts. Now go ahead and do the same to the other side. Now that we have our headlights installed, reinstall your 6 10mm bolts across the top of the grille. Now that we have our headlights installed, we're ready to close the hood and test all our headlight functions.